Unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, also known as drones, seem to be everywhere these days.
Yeah, since the Federal Aviation Administration started granting exemptions for commercial use last year, more and more contractors have been using them in their work. Here's what you need to know in today's Angie's List report. David Bowden has been inspecting homes and buildings with his lightweight drone for more than a year. It helps him get a great view of rooftops he might not otherwise have. But the FAA recently grounded his craft because businesses can't fly them without a special exemption.
Many of them think as long as they're not charging you for actually using the drone, that they're allowed to do it without proper authorization from the FAA. But that's not the case. If someone's going to use one on your property, be sure to ask for their authorization and exemption from the FAA.
I want to find out what it's going to take to operate legally. I don't want to operate outside of the law. I want to be 100% good and be able to sleep at night and not worry about odd letters coming to me out of the blue.
Bowden plans to file for his exemption, but the approval process could take up to 4 months.
I think their one-size-fits-all isn't working, and it's really going to hold back something that could help people.
Many other inspectors, aerial photographers, and real estate agents are using the new technology, some legally, some not. The legal ones are happy to see the FAA cracking down.
I think the best part about it is that it forces an operator to think through all of the things that they really need to be doing to operate safely.
Safety is the FAA's only concern, but homeowners should also be concerned about liability in case the drone crashes through a window or, worse yet, falls on a person.
I think there's some notion among some folks that just because it's an unmanned system that there's no danger involved, and that because I'm not a pilot that's flying in my aircraft, I can't be hurt, and quite to the contrary.
So Angie says you should ask any contractor to see their insurance and ask if it's specific for drone usage.
Drone experts say the vehicles will help generate more than 100,000 jobs in the next 10 years as it grows toward being a $100 billion industry.
That's a lot of money. The FAA is expected to issue new regulations in the near future, which will supersede the exemptions currently being granted.
Okay, so here with more insight into drones is Cole Thompson, with the who's the owner of Slot and Wing Hobbies in Champaign. You know, people have gotten, you know, their back hair up, if you will, over drones and whatnot. But it seems like pretty cool technology.
No, yeah, it's great. And the real big thing is what really is a drone. I mean, most people just assume that this looks like a drone. It's got 4 motors, and it just has the framework of a drone. But really, it's a radio control helicopter with more motors than normal.
That's not a drone?
Technically, what constitutes a drone is an autonomous vehicle that flies autonomously out of sight. So really, I mean, when it comes down to it, you don't really want to fly these out of sight because it's, they're, expensive.
You don't need to go in somewhere. So, okay, so these, I was going to say, I feel like we've had radio-controlled aircraft for years.
Yeah.
So this is just new technology.
Essentially, that's all it is.
And the capabilities are changing too. So this guy that you brought in here, I think, is a great example of what you can do. With one of these new vehicles.
So these, basically, it's an aerial platform and it carries a camera, and it's all manual flight. But what's cool about them is the camera systems on them are just getting nicer and nicer, and like it has a gimbal, so it holds that camera completely steady.
That's so cool.
And it has a live feed. You can actually have a live feed on your transmitter, so you can watch exactly what you're doing, as you're flying it around.
I love that. And they come in a bunch of different sizes. We'll demonstrate some of these here coming up in a minute. But you've got the itty-bitty, the teeniest one, And what does something like that cost?
Like $35.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got other kinds up here that are smaller. My son had tore it up. So would you think that one that you're holding would be kind of more kid-friendly, like kind of like learning how to use a drone?
Oh, very. They're almost turn it on, I guess. Yeah, no, they're very stable in their flight. I mean, it's how old is your kid?
8.
Oh, he can handle it.
Yeah.
Don't think I'm coming home with these. Sorry.
Yeah, he's watching at home wondering. So you've got these little ones. And there he starts to go. Okay, wow. There he goes. And you have very precise control.
No, actually, I'm not doing anything. It's pretty much flying itself.
He was giving it to you to fly, Heather.
I do feel the wind.
Yeah. But I mean, look at the precision that you can control that.
Oh yeah, here, hold out your iPad
Gonna
here.
land-
Or your
oh.
hand. Yeah, there you go.
Can I land it?
There you go.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Oh yeah, they're really easy to fly.
So, okay, so these are the smallest models, right, Cole?
Yeah, some of them.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, these, and so they get small, again, for more beginners. But as you get more advanced, you can upgrade to one of these, like the
Yeah.
Chroma, or even your Hubsan X4 Pro. This
Yeah.
is a beast.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
What's that one
This,
used
uh,
for?
Well, it's used just the same as anything else. It's an aerial camera platform, but this one has some cool features. This actually has a deployable parachute. So if you actually get in trouble and you're flying it, you can flip a switch and it'll stop the motors and a parachute will pop and it'll float down.
Oh my gosh.
I love that. It's so interesting. They were talking about groups like inspectors, aerial photographers, even real estate agents.
Yep.
And I know farmers in central
Yeah.
Illinois
Yeah.
using tools like this.
It's going to blow up in the agricultural industry.
Yeah, we're actually watching some video now of this drone copter flying. What do you think it is that people are so nervous and afraid of when it comes to these?
Oh, you know, people just, they look at it and they think it's a spy in the sky, you know, and it's legally it's not. I mean, legally they have the parameters out where you can't use them, you know, unless you're, you know, on private property and whatnot. But it's, you know, they look scary. That's the
Yeah.
big thing. But they're not. They're just, you know, it's a tool.
Well, I mean, especially when you see one walking a dog. I mean, that's not scary, right, Cole?
No, somebody out on the other end of it's having a lot of fun when you really think about
Yeah,
it.
no, that's true.
Right.
Well, and I love that kind of Back to the Future idea, where that featured these in walking the dogs too.
Yeah.
So how is this technology? So this is what you do. So I mean, you've
Yeah, it's
seen
part of it.
multiple editions of these vehicles. So what have you seen change over time?
I mean, the camera technology is getting better. You know, everything's getting smaller and more compact. You know, and then the actual flight controllers in them are getting better when it comes to just because I mean, you know, when new technology things come out, they have their problems. But anymore, like the GPS capabilities in them are very reliable. You know, when it comes to being able to fly them.
And so generally with these, you're supposed to fly them within the line of sight.
Yes.
Because that ultimately you need your control pad to be,
Yes.
you know, controlling it, and it needs that, right?
It needs that, and actually, FPV, which is first-person view, it will not work without a line of sight. Anything that impedes the signal that's coming from the camera to the transmitter, it'll actually probably cut out more than likely.
Wow. Well, great information, Cole. Thanks so much for coming in, demonstrating how a drone works. If you want to connect with Slot and Wing Hobbies, head to sayliving.tv.
How much do they cost?
These,
Just out of curiosity, you said 35.
the range I brought here is anywhere from $30 to, I mean, this is about $1,200.
Okay.
So an investment.
Definitely, but a lot of
And the
fun.
big one I have over here is
And
about
very-
$5,000.
Wow. That's
Well,
the big
today's
boy over
CI
there.
Giving is pretty close to that amount.
Oh, is it?